what we're going to be doing today is called a 1-point perspective. So you're going to need a ruler and a pencil and a piece of paper. And step number 1 is you're going to put a point somewhere on this paper. Okay? A little circle, a little point. In the middle, not necessarily the very center, but somewhere in the middle. If you do it off to the side, that's okay too. I'll show you an example of that. But it works best if it's somewhere near the middle. That's step number 1. Easy peasy, right? Just one little point. The next thing, you're going to draw 5 to 8 things going around the point. You want them to be pretty far away from the point in order for this to work. They can even go off the edges of the paper if you want. So you're going to do 5 things. 5 things. A shape, a letter, a picture, whatever you want to be going off the sides. If you do letters, they have to have dimension. They can't just be a line letter. So this is a line letter. We need it to have dimension. So it needs to be a block kind of letter, or it needs to be like a bubble letter. Okay? An easy way to do this, when you're drawing your block letters, start with that first line and just turn it into a block. Then your second line, you turn into a block again. Okay, and that's a very acceptable way to make a block letter. And here's an example. Okay, so here's my dot, and I wrote the word space going around my dot. Space. So that's step number 2. Dot, and then 5 to 8 things going around it. After you do that, then you're going to take your ruler, and from this dot here, you're going to draw lines to the outside edges. So I'm going to use this C as an example. So I'm going to line up my dot and the very outside edge of my C, and I'm going to draw a line. And then I'm going to do the other side. Dot to C. Okay, so there you go. Ooh, you can already see I'm creating this illusion of space, like it's exploding out from that center. That's what we want. But now I have this little part here. See how this is coming up, and I have this space here. I'm going to draw a little line going to my dot on that space too. But I'm going to stop, so I'm going to line up my dot and my edge, but I'm going to stop when I get to this line of the C. Same thing for the top part of the C. And then I got to stop. So I drew the line. It lines up with the dot, but I had to stop when I got to the C. And that creates, again, the illusion of space. So this line now looks like it's going behind the letter C. So do that to all your pictures, and then it will look like oh boy. It will look like, here it is, this. So you can see all my lines going to the dot in the middle, and I have the S, the end of the S here. I did 2 lines, same thing for all my E's. 2 lines on my E's, the bottom of my P, okay, even the little part of the A. They all need these great lines here that give that illusion of space. And then you just want to stop. And for here, the top of the A, it would have run into my P, so I had to stop. And now it looks like my P is coming out and the A is going behind it, the lines from the A. So that is step number 3. Draw all the lines. From there, once you have that done, now you can add some fun details. You can draw things inside your shape, and we're going to color. And you can see here that I did some shading, so it's darker green, and then it goes out to lighter green. And it's darker red, and it goes to lighter red. So try to add some shading while you are coloring. And all you have to do is press harder here and not press so hard when you get out to here. Same thing for in here. I made the the parts that kind of go behind it a little darker. Okay, here too. And then here I did the edges of the E darker than the rest. I'll give you some more examples. So that's some letters. Here are some pictures. So I have planet Earth, a planet, a moon, an astronaut, and a comet. And you can see I added a lot of great details here to the astronaut, and the comet has like drippy fire coming from it. And Earth has all the continents on it. So there's another example. Here's one where I didn't add any coloring, but I have a whole bunch of shapes, don't I? So that's what makes it interesting. If I only did 5 shapes, it wouldn't be as interesting. But when I have a whole bunch, then I can just shade, and I just did this with my pencil, not even colored pencils. And on this one, I did it darker by the shape, and then it got lighter down by the dot. And here's an example. This is one I just printed from the internet, and they have the point way up in the corner, and then the shapes, and they even added these little lines, and the lines get closer and closer and closer together as it gets closer to the dot. Oh, and I really want you to see how there's a line in the middle by the heart and right here by the star. Okay, those are really important lines, the triangle too. Okay, because it really helps give that shape feeling. Okay, so that's your project. I think that's pretty easy, it's pretty fun, and I really want to encourage you in your drawing, if you're just doodling or something in class, to try to use this idea of a horizon line and space and see what you can do in your drawings. Okay, have fun!